Hello, everybody. This is Douglas Auclair, known online as Joff, and I'm the owner of the company called Logical Graphs. Today, we're going to be talking about the recent liquidation of a lot of Kujira's token KUJI, paid for by Bitcoin lent to their protocol called Ghost, and what that means for my portfolio, as well as a couple of mistakes I've made in my ETHBTC portfolio, and what I'm going to be doing going forward with that portfolio. So let's get into it. Okay, so the context here is that if we look at ORCA, you see a recent liquidation that occurred for 210,000 KUJI exchanged for 7.7 Bitcoin. What does that mean in dollar amounts? Well, KUJI at the time was trading for a bit above $4, 4.10 or 4.20. So that means that this person got approximately $850,000 worth of KUJI. Now, how much did he get it for? Bitcoin at its low point was trading at $17,000 per back in 2022. So if this person picked up their 8 Bitcoin for 17,000, that means that it was approximately $100,000 worth of Bitcoin to that person. If they bought it today, recently, like around $40,000 mark, that means they invested about $400,000, meaning either they doubled their money in the worst case scenario, because this bid has been here for months, or they 7 times their money. That is incredible. Now, what was the risk for them? Let's look at the marketplace. So when we go to xBitcoin, which is Bitcoin lent to Ghost, we see the marketplace here, and there's no USK available left for this marketplace. So the person exhausted the marketplace, but they had a bid around here, say, at 30% gain. It actually turned out to be 100 to 700% gain, given the numbers of how Bitcoin has grown over time. So what is the risk for them? Are they put at risk for investing Bitcoin into this marketplace? And the short answer is no, because when you lend Bitcoin to the Ghost marketplace, and let's look at it here. Let's look for Bitcoin. You see that it's gaining interest of 0.15%, meaning that when that person put in the bid months ago, not only did their Bitcoin increase in value due to the price increase, but the amount of their Bitcoin grew over time because they lent to Ghost and then used that lent Bitcoin token, xwBTC, to make a bid on ORCA against USK. So having a bid in ORCA with an X asset or an asset lent to Ghost means that your token's value or your bid's value grows over time numerically in the underlying token. That is incredible. Well, you see that the Bitcoin market is currently exhausted, so there's no point in betting Bitcoin at present, even with the growth of the token. You can simply just keep it lent to Ghost. Let's look at Ethereum. You can so that was USK. Let's go back to Bitcoin and KUJI, because that was the marketplace. There's still 29K of KUJI available. So you can certainly lend your Bitcoin to Ghost on the Kujira blockchain, then place a bid for liquidated KUJI worth 29K KUJI. KUJI is currently trading at $378 dollars per share, meaning that this is about 30. So that's about $100,000 worth. So you can put $100,000 bid at 27%, and then should this bid ever hit again, then you're making 28% over what your Bitcoin investment was. Oh, disregarding price movement of Bitcoin, and that 28% is also compounded by the lending rate that you lend your Bitcoin tokens to Ghost. Okay, so but I currently don't have any Bitcoin, so the takeaway for me was that to have Bitcoin to lend on Ghost would have been a good thing at the time. Hindsight is 2020. But what is the insight going forward? Let's look at Ethereum, wrapped Ethereum. So in these marketplaces, you have 400K of KUJI with hardly any bids. Let's look elsewhere. For Manta, there is no Manta available, so this marketplace is empty. For xwUSDC, again, empty. And for USK, they're again empty. So the only marketplace available for wrapped Ethereum on the Kujira marketplace when you lend to Ghost is Kujira. Let's say, so 400K of Kujira trading at 378. Let's say that's approximately $1.6 million worth. I have approximately $10,000 worth of Ethereum. If I transition all that Ethereum to Ethereum lent to Ghost, I am then therefore making, if we look at the Ethereum marketplace, I am then making 2.6% on my lent wrapped Ethereum. I place my bid on Orca, and let's say the bid hits at 28%, disregarding price movement of Ethereum, I make 28% over my base Ethereum. So I lose all my Ethereum. It gets traded for Kujira, but then I can immediately turn it around and sell my Kujira on FIN back to ETH. And when I do that, if we go to the Kujira marketplace, you see that this is a very active marketplace with 6,000 KUJI being traded in the last 24 hours. Very active. And it's trading at around the price of Ethereum. What is the price of Ethereum? The price of Ethereum is actually a bit lower. It's at 3.6 thousand per token, whereas it's trading here at 3.7 per token. So if I sell that Ethereum back, I'm sorry, sell that KUJI back to buy Ethereum, I'm actually selling at a higher price than market, and I'm selling 28% additional. So the risk is the price movement of two volatile tokens. Ethereum's value is going up and down. Kujira's value is going up and down. So it's possible that when you sell your Ethereum going up in value to Kujira that's going down because it's being liquidated in value, you lose value over time. And I have done that. I have lost value over time. That's the risk. But if you immediately pounce upon the liquidation fulfilled, then you're at a 28% gain. You go to the marketplace, you sell back your Ethereum on the marketplace, and you can even go to Manta, for example, and say, I want to trade my Ethereum. Oh, sorry, I want to trade my KUJI for Ethereum. That's quite too much. Sorry. So let's say I have $10,000 worth, and that's 28% above. So that's about $12.5 thousand worth. I get 24 Ethereum back. Now you see that there's quite a bit of slippage in that trade. I go from $125,000 to $90,000. So I lose quite a bit in that trade. So I just can't blast that Kuji back into Ethereum. I actually have to be smart about the trading back, or else I would lose in that exchange. That also is a risk. The slippage in the trade, if you're going for a straight up swap on Manta, you're going to lose $35,000 in that trade. But if you are smart in your trade and you place limit orders, let's take that Kuji amount, 33,000, go to this marketplace, set the price at a limit order, and buy Ethereum with the Kuji. Let's say for funsies that a person fills that order right away, right above marketplace value. And then you get 33 Ethereum back, as opposed to 24 Ethereum back. So you get a net positive exchange, both in the Orca liquidation and in the FIN limit order, given that the limit order fills over time. And what's to say that it doesn't? What's to say that the price of Bitcoin bangs up, and so immediately that exchange rate of 983 is now below market value. You get a positive from the liquidation, and you get a positive from the limit order trade. So my takeaway here is that I saw in the Bitcoin, using Bitcoin to pay for liquidated Kuji, that you can activate your Bitcoin in Ethereum. And so instead of just holding those assets or trading those assets back and forth using the ETH/BETH ratio and the EMA20, you can activate those assets, put them onto Orca as bids, and then use those activated assets to build your portfolio in that regard. So let's actually go do that. Here's my mistake. I was arbitrating Ethereum by using wrapped stake Ethereum as a pivot asset. The problem with that is that nobody else besides Ethereum blockchain recognizes the value of wrapped stake Ethereum. If I try to trade wrapped staked Ethereum for Ethereum here on Manta, okay, finally Manta does recognize it. You see that there's only there's a $60 loss in that trade. So I'll lose $60 worth in that trade. What is the ratio if I do that trade on MantaSwap? That's very interesting. But okay, let's take a limit order. I have 1.5637 wrap stake Ethereum. If I place a limit order with that just below the lowest cell, the only cell, I'm going to get back 1.8 Ethereum. Versus if I go to Manta DAO, I'm going to get back 1.72 Ethereum. But first let's make sure that this trade is accurate. So I'm comparing apples to apples. Let's actually use the full amount of wrap stake Ethereum that I have. That's pretty close. So that's 1.797. So I can get my Ethereum back right away. So let's look at the ratio, and if we're going to do that, do that. So let's put in an order, 2024, okay. It's going to be a sale. and I'm going to earn wrap stake Ethereum. It's going to be this much. And I'm selling it for wrap staked Ethereum. I'm selling wrap staked Ethereum. It's going to be this much. The price point for wrap stake Ethereum is currently the ratio, which is this much. We put that into our spreadsheet. Actually go to the spreadsheet here. And we're looking for wrap staked Ethereum. This is the ratio. And so we see that the ratio is 1.1605. We put that back into the price for wrap stake. Well, we can just enter the price for wrap stake Ethereum. Let's do that. And we see that Ethereum that is currently trading at 3,683, we are getting it back valued at 3,427 with the exchange rate of 1.1493. Well, when I did my trades to wrap stake Ethereum, what were the ratios? So we look at my previous set of trades and you see my ratios at 1.469, 1.479. And so the ratio of 1.493 is actually a gain for me. I started out with when I say actually a gain for me, that means that I started out with less Ethereum. I traded it to wrap stake Ethereum. So when I'm trading back on the Manta DAO, even though I'm trading at a slight disadvantage of losing $60, I'm still getting back more wrapped Ethereum than with what I started with when I started these pivot trades. So even though it's a slightly disadvantaged trade because of the slippage of $60, it's still an advantage trade to me. I still make more Ethereum than what I started with. And that's why I'm saying that the trade is good for me, although it is not good in general. If I were to go directly to FIN and do a marketplace pull, I could trade it for 1.8 wrap stake Ethereum. How much would that ratio be? That ratio would be 1.572. So is it worth it for me to wait? Because if you look at the marketplace activity, it is currently 0 24-hour volume. But when you look at the buys, they're 0.5 Ethereum, 1 Ethereum, 1 Ethereum when they do hit. So I can eventually fill this order over time if I wait a few days, as opposed to filling the order immediately. If I fill the order over time, I don't have the slippage. If I fill the order immediately, I have that $60 slippage, but I can put the liquidity to work right away. On the other hand, I still have some liquidity already in this address. So I can put some liquidity to work now and wait as these orders fill. So for me, I lose a little bit if I want the money back right away and put that order to work. But how often do these orders fill? If you look at the order fill history on these, there is no orders that have filled in this marketplace as long as this marketplace has existed, and that has been for months. So I can wait a few more days and put the liquidity as I get it, as the limit order fills on FIN, into this marketplace on um, what do you call it? Orca. And as you see, I already have some liquidity in Ghost that I lent Ethereum 2.7. So I can already start work here. So let's do that. Instead of going to Manta DAO and getting my liquidity back immediately, making a slight gain for a $60 slippage, I'm going to place a limit order of my wrap staked Ethereum, selling it back to Ethereum at a much better rate of exchange rate, and getting back more Ethereum, 0.01 Ethereum more back in the process. So I fill this order. All right, this order is not going to hit right now, and it's not going to hit today, given its history, but it's going to hit in, this is the 15th, this is the 13th. So it's going to hit in 2 days, and then it's going to hit in 2 days, and then it's going to hit in 3 days, then 4 days, 1 day, 1 day, 1 day. So this order is going to take some time to fill, but eventually it's going to fill. So I have happy feelings about that. Now I have a lot of liquidity spread against various tokens because I started trades. I started trading Bitcoin toward Ethereum using the FIN limit orders, and then Bitcoin just ramped right up. And I started trading Ethereum toward Bitcoin, and Bitcoin and Ethereum just ramped right up. So I was left holding stables and Kujis and Manta, and as opposed to holding Bitcoin and Ethereum. So that's my second mistake, is using limit orders, expecting the market to remain stable where Bitcoin was trading at 35,000 and Ethereum was trading at 2,000. But then the marketplace took off, and now Bitcoin is trading at 70,000 and Ethereum is trading at almost 4,000. That was my mistake. So when I'm doing trades between Ethereum and Bitcoin, I should just simply follow the ratio, do the trade, and use the ratio to make my gains, as opposed to trying to make a little bit of profit over time using limit orders, and then just watching that profit evaporate when the marketplaces run away from those limit orders. So what I've done is I've canceled all my limit orders on FIN, and that means that I've accumulated all my money into quiescent assets in my wallet. So this is what my wallet looks like. I have some Ethereum in Ghost, and if we look at Ghost, you see that I have a small loan out for some Ethereum that I leveraged on the Nolos protocol. And I'm going to close that because I have USK available. And I also do I have USK in my wallet? So I have lent out to myself 200 USK from wrap staked Ethereum. If we look at my wallet, I have more than enough USK to cover that borrow position. So I'm going to close that borrow position. So we go to our spreadsheet. Go to our transactions, and we're going to do a burn here. Which is currently trading at 379. Okay, so let's close that position. And let somebody else borrow that or mint that USK against West. So wrap stake Ethereum actually does have a very solid use case on Kujira, and that is minting USK. So if you're minting USK, wrap stake Ethereum is a good one because it grows intrinsically in value over time. And the number of tokens underlying wrapped Ethereum and the price movement of Ethereum has been positive over the last month or so. Okay, let's. All right. So I have some more wrap stake Ethereum in my hand now. So I go back to the FIN marketplace and place another order because I forgot about the minting position. And that's another 0.4 wrap stake Ethereum, which will eventually get me 0.45 wrapped Ethereum. So we sell that, and eventually it'll fill over time. Okay, so we now have two sell orders on the wrapped Ethereum order book on FIN. It's going to take some time to fill, but that's how it goes. All right, now we look at our wallet. We see we have some wrapped Ethereum. We have some, lent Ethereum. We have some lent KUJI. We have a lot of USK. We have some lent actual USDC. We have some lent USK. We have some actual USDC, and we have KUJI for transaction fees, and we actually have no Bitcoin available. That's just some dust there. Some very nice dust. So what are the most active bidding assets on Orca? If you look at the 7-day trailing history, you're going to see Bitcoin is the major player here. But that's skewed because of that tremendously huge order that did occur. If you look back over time, you can go to my reports on my blog, which I'll include a link to in the comments down below, in the description. And if you look for my daily report on Orca, you see blah, blah, blah. So let's actually do a search for Orca. Before that huge order hit, you see that Orca liquidations by market, by bid, you see this chart. And most of the liquidations are, if you look in total, most are stables. So there was no actual USDC hits, but there was lend actual USD hits. There was about an eighth were USK hits, about 60% or more were lent USK, USK lent to Ghost. Very tiny or lent osmosis and a not insignificant Luna hit. So if we look at my assets profile, it makes no sense for me to place a bid with actual USDC against Ethereum or Bitcoin, or does it? Let's look at those marketplaces. So if we look at Bitcoin, we see that if we bid, there is no possible bids for just straight up actual USDC. There's only a possibility for wrapped actual USDC, and there's no market for it anyway. So nothing there. How about for Ethereum? For Ethereum, again, no market for the lent actual USDC, and there's no market for actual USDC itself. So it makes sense for me to trade to unlend myself the lent actual USDC I have on Ghost and trade it all to USK, because in the USK markets, you have a lot more activity in the bidding profile, but you also have a lot more wrapped Ethereum available. This is 3,000, 30,000, 300,000. That's $1.8 million worth. Well, almost 4,000. So that's $2.4 million worth of Ethereum is locked as a bidding opportunity when those Ethereum get liquidated. And are they going to get liquidated? Possibly. If Ethereum slams down hard as fast as it spiked, there's going to be liquidations that occur. So this is a good potential market. If we look at the KUJI marketplaces, there's no way you can bid on wrapped Ethereum with KUJI, but you can use Manta, but there is no collateral locked with Manta. So the way to get to Ethereum is via the stable, or to bid on KUJI using the...
I found this on the web for us via the stable.
Sorry about that. Is to bid for KUJI using the lent Ethereum and then swapping back over time. Let's look at Bitcoin. For Bitcoin, you can bid on USK. There's nothing there. You can bid using a lent Manta. There's nothing there. You can bid with USK. There is 59 Bitcoin available if you bid with USK. With lent USK, there is Bitcoin trading at approximately $40,000, about $20,000 worth of Bitcoin available there. That's not insignificant. With wrapped, with lent actual USDC, there's nothing there in that market. So there's no market for lent actual USDC. Or you can bid on 29K of KUJI, which is approximately $100,000 worth. That's not insignificant. You can bid on Manta. There's no market there. Or you can bid on actual USDC. There's $500 worth. So you could take some wrapped Bitcoin, lend it to Ghost, and bid on $500 worth, and somebody's doing exactly that. So let's take the xwUSDC lent to Ghost, convert it all unlended. And when now we have accumulated actual USDC. Let's record the transaction fee. And so now I have actual USDC in hand. So we take that actual USDC, go over to FIN, and trade it to USK. So we're going to be selling actual USDC, going to be selling it for just above market price. I'm selling $1,000 worth. And so that order, you see the normal swing is around 1.1, and I'm trading at 1.1. So eventually this order will hit. And for 1067 actual USDC, I'm going to get 1083 USK back. But I still have assets in hand. If we look at the assets available that we have in hand, we have some Ethereum, we have some KUJI, we have some lent, we have some USK and lent USK, and we have some dust. So let's go to Orca and place orders for Ethereum and Bitcoin. Let's start with Bitcoin. So with Bitcoin, I don't have any Bitcoin available. I have some Manta. Do I have some Manta? No, I do not. Okay, so no need to concern myself with that. I have some USK. I'm going to split my orders 50-50 between Bitcoin and Ethereum. So I'm going to bid 50% at a 4% discount. I'm going to bid 50% of my USK at a 4% discount for liquidated Bitcoin. So now I'm activating my assets. I had USK in hand. I'm bidding Bitcoin and Ethereum with that USK. In 9 minutes, I'm going to activate that bid. And so when Bitcoin does get liquidated, my order will be filled and I'll be trading USK for Bitcoin at its low point because it's being liquidated and at a discount of 4%. Let's continue on with Bitcoin. So we did USK. Let's do xUSK, or USK lent to Ghost. You see, I have 0.6 Bitcoin available here. Let's go back to my previous position here. I have 59 Bitcoin available there, so that order is completely safe. But so is my lent USK, because I have 300 lent USK. 0.6 Bitcoin is approximately $20,000. So when I bid 50% of it, or $167 worth, that order can be filled at 3%, no problem. So I place a bid there. Okay, and it's going to take 9 minutes to activate. Let's continue on with Bitcoin. No market there. I don't have any Bitcoin, so we're done with Bitcoin. Let's go to Ethereum. I don't have any Manta. I do have USK, so let's place a bid here. Let's refresh. You see that we have 600 Ethereum locked for liquidation bidding. You see the bids when they're filled are of $150, $500, $180. There's a bid to here. So if I bid at 3%, I'm pretty sure of my order getting filled. I don't know why that's saying $400. Let's check the balance. Oh, because I did have that much available. So let's bid it all. So we're bidding it all at 3%. Next. No market here. And why do I say that? Because there's no collateral locked for, so even though people are placing bids of $1,000, $1,500 worth, there's no Ethereum to bid against. So that's why I'm not placing a bid there. With my wrapped Ethereum, I can bid on KUJI, or I can bid on Manta, or I can bid on actually USDC, or I can bid on USK. So let's look at these marketplaces. I have KUJI available to bid against. Manta's marketplace is empty. Axel's USDC's marketplace is empty. And the USK marketplace is empty. So I can only bid on KUJI with my lent Ethereum. So let's go ahead and do that. You see that there's no liquidations of KUJI against Ethereum. And somebody has placed a bid for a little bit, around 15%. So I'm going to place two bids. I'm going to place a bid here for half of my wrap staked Ethereum. Okay, and that's going to take some time to fill. And then I'm going to place another bid here. All right, let's go back to the wallet. So in my ETHBTC wallet, trading wallet, I'm only going to be bidding with Ethereum and with Bitcoin, and I'm only going to bid for Ethereum and for Bitcoin. So I still have some xUSK because there's no Ethereum market where I can bid Ethereum with xUSK. So I'm going to bid that to Bitcoin. How about KUJI? Let's go look at there's no marketplace for KUJI. So it makes sense then to trade my KUJI to USK and then bid that. So even though KUJI is at a low point right now, if I'm going to be bidding for Ethereum and Bitcoin, I need to bid with USK or lent USK. So let's go back to the marketplaces. So I have a bid in process at 3% for $176. I have $20,000 of Bitcoin available for liquidation. So I can bid the rest of my USK here. Okay, so that leaves the ETHKUJI. Now I could unlend the KUJI. I could take my KUJI back from Ghost, and then I could trade it on FIN. That's one approach. But what are the xKUJI marketplaces? You see, AmpKUJI and QCKUJI are very active marketplaces. I could go to Atom or STAtom. These marketplaces that are empty, I know from experience. West, nothing there. I could go to ST Osmo, nothing there. I could go to USDC, nothing there. I could go to Axel USDC. There's 94K there. Interesting. And I could go to USK. There's $800 there. Interesting. So I'm going to bid the total amount of the marketplace here with my xKUJI. So $800, KUJI trading at $4-ish means that KUJI trading at $4 means that 20 KUJI is $800, 200 KUJI is $800. So I'm going to bid 200 KUJI, xKUJI that is. And then when I get that Axel USDC, I'm going to trade it to USK and then bid on wrapped Ethereum and wrapped Bitcoin. And that bid is active immediately. Let's go back and look for the other marketplace. There is USK. So I just did the USK bid. Axel USDC, there's $100,000 Axel USDC available. I have here 4 times that, $1,200 worth. So I can bid all my xKUJI here. And there are hits that occur. The last hit occurred last year on Christmas Day, but these hits can be tremendously large. So let's bank on the future that the past may occur again sooner than a few months. And if it doesn't, we'll come up with a different strategy. Okay, that'll take 10 minutes to activate. So this is my new trading points trading approach with my ETHBTC trading portfolio. I've moved all the trades from FIN except for trading a stable to a stable and trading wrapped stake Ethereum to wrapped Ethereum to trade on ORCA. So I've placed my bids on ORCA of all my liquid assets that I can trade. So you see that I have basically nothing in my wallet now. All my liquidity in my ETHBTC trading portfolio is now activated as bids for liquidated assets on ORCA. And the liquidated assets I'm bidding for are wrapped stake Ethereum and wrapped Bitcoin. And with my wrapped stake Ethereum, I am bidding for KUJI, so that when an order does hit for the very first time in the universe, it's going to hit at 14% or 24%. I'm going to trade the KUJI back to wrapped stake Ethereum, to Ethereum, and make my gains that way. Also, when the ETHBTC EMA20 ratio does indicate a trade that I can execute, for example, trading Ethereum to Bitcoin, when that becomes favorable, I'll withdraw a bid of the wrapped Ethereum from ORCA, trade to Bitcoin, and make the money off of the trade from Ethereum to Bitcoin when the ratio is favorable in that direction, therefore growing the entire asset portfolio value that way. Thank you.